Well, hello again. Thought I'd make another quick video. Some of the stuff I've seen this week with these UFO fanboys beggars belief. Before I get into that, I just thought I'd forgotten all about this, but whatever happened to the... Let's make sure there's nothing on there that's going to be... Yeah, if you look at the top left hand corner there, you'll see I've got a 5G phone. I've had it for quite some time. Signal strength is not blasting me with microwaves, it's only got a couple of bars, even though this is quite an elevated position. But whatever happened to all those 5G nutters, you know, the lampposts, the 5G lampposts are going to kill us all, they're coming for your children, you know, that absolute complete and utter rubbish, that ludicrous nonsense being spruiked by those 5G morons, you know. I suppose they're saving it all up now for 6G, so when 6G comes along they'll all be out again. 6G lampposts are going to kill us all, you can see through buildings, it's a weapon. And then of course nothing will happen, and then it'll be 7G and then 8G, because it's all complete and utter rubbish. Anyway, you might also notice that this phone thinks it's in California. It's saying 55 degrees there, that's Fahrenheit of course, not centigrade. It's never been 55 degrees centigrade here, it's been close. Where I was the other day it was 48 degrees. That's Cupertino in California. This phone thinks it's California. I mean, I suppose looking at the background you might think this is California, but it's not, it's Australia. I don't like these phones. I've just never found the setting to, I've never looked for the setting to change it to Western Australia. Anyway, back to what I was going to talk about. I did a video while I was driving around. You know, some people have said that they quite like the driving around videos, but no one seems to be watching that one. There was a guy I mentioned on that video. There was something I didn't mention about what he said, and I thought it was quite amusing. He was being interviewed by one of these ET fanboy channels, and the interviewer said to him, that's right, Michael Herrera, yeah. And he's jumped on the Degrasse bandwagon, you know, he's talking absolute rubbish about luring alien spacecraft and shooting them down. Science fiction hogwash. Crows are up as well this morning. So this guy Michael Herrera, the interviewer said to him, have you had a personal experience? And he said, oh yeah, you know, when he was in the military, you know, he saw this big thing hovering over a forest, and there was people in black, as there always are. You know, you've got to have Jake and Elwood running around, haven't you, really, to try and quieten all these people down so they don't talk about it, even though they're on a global social media platform telling the world all about it. Why don't they come forward? They fear for their safety. Why have you come forward? For my own protection. Bloody David Grush. Anyway, he's describing this thing, and it flew away. And the interviewer said to him, was it silent? And he said, oh yeah, it was silent. He said, apart from this humming noise that it made, he said it wasn't quite like a transformer, you know, but like a buzzing noise, you know. And I thought, well, either it's silent or it's not, you know. It was completely silent, but it made this buzzing noise that wasn't quite like a transformer, you know. So that's Michael Herrera, who goes on to talk about luring alien spacecraft and shooting them down. Personally, I've put a line through this guy, and just like Grush, complete and utter rubbish, you know. And then I saw Gary Nolan, and he was saying, he was saying Neil deGrasse Tyson should have his Ph.D. revoked. When was the last time Neil deGrasse Tyson did an experiment, you know? Because Neil deGrasse Tyson is saying this is all rubbish, you know. And I think Neil deGrasse Tyson is absolutely right. All Neil deGrasse Tyson is saying is what I'm saying, what Brian Cox is saying, and what everybody that's capable of critical thinking is saying, and that's okay. All right, show us some tangible evidence. Don't keep telling us science fiction stories, you know, and Sean Kirkpatrick as well. You know, don't keep telling us science fiction stories. Show us some tangible evidence. And they're getting really quite shirty. I mean, you don't get Neil deGrasse Tyson, as far as I know anyway, coming on saying, well, Gary Nolan should have his Ph.D. revoked because he's spreading all this science fiction rubbish without any tangible evidence to back it up. That would actually make more sense, wouldn't it? And Grush is there, oh yeah, well, I'll debate deGrasse Tyson, I'll debate Brian Cox, I'll debate anyone. Because he knows they won't debate him. He gets bolder and bolder, bolder and bolder and bolder every time they say they're not going to debate him. Or deGrasse Tyson says he's not going to debate him. Because without the tangible evidence, what exactly is there to debate? Grush is saying, well, this guy told me this, you know. deGrasse Tyson can't debate that, can he? Because he can't say, well, you know, I don't know that he didn't. That doesn't mean any of it's real. That doesn't mean the guy that told Grush the story is telling the truth. Can you see? This is just a house of cards. This whole ET business is a house of cards. And they're trying to prop it up. They're trying to keep it alive because they want investment money to research it. And Corbell should really be ashamed of himself, because, and I think this shows, this demonstrates a low IQ. I think people that are not capable of quick-witted thinking tend to resort to insults very quickly because they can't think of anything else to say. And Corbell's saying that Sean Kirkpatrick is dog shit. I mean, really? What sort of, you know, what sort of mentality has Corbell got to come out with a comment like that? I mean, Sean Kirkpatrick doesn't say Corbell is dog shit for spreading all this science fiction rubbish, does he? You know, can you see that? Can you see the difference? The people that are saying, just show me the evidence, that's all we want. Just show us the evidence. Either stop the science fiction stories or show us the evidence. One or the other. You know, I've said before, it's not real. Senator Burchett is coming to the conclusion that it's not real, and I hope he keeps drilling, because the deeper he drills, the less he's going to find. And for Nolan and Corbell to say the things they've said, I think it shows that they know that this ET science fiction claptrap is crumbling. The house of cards is falling. They are angry. And the people that are on the, well, let's see the evidence side of the fence are quite cool, calm and collected. They're not calling people names. They're not asking for people's PhDs to be revoked. They're just saying, you know, show us the evidence. As Neil deGrasse Tyson says, you know, how many millions and millions of people out there have got high definition cameras in their pockets every day of the week? You know, and we're not seeing any decent pictures of extraterrestrials running around in the supermarket, or, you know, flying saucers hovering 30 feet above people's heads. We're not seeing any of that. You know, the best we're seeing is fuzzy pictures of mylar balloons, the sort of stuff that Corbell peddles, you know, bug on a glass of a camera housing, you know, a mylar balloon flying across Mosul, parachute flares over a military base in America, oh, flying pyramid. That is the dog shit. And for Corbell to come on and say Sean Kirkpatrick is dog shit, really? Incredible. But Corbell, of course, is very angry because he's making a very nice living out of it. He doesn't want to go back to working for a living. He doesn't want to go back to teaching yoga. And as I said in the video that no one's watching, when I was driving the car the day before yesterday, I think it was, that Diana Pasulka, probably butchered her name there, apologies for that, was saying that she's looking into the religious aspects of aliens and all that sort of stuff, and I thought you couldn't possibly glean any How could you possibly glean what sort of religious beliefs they may have by looking at what they claim is alien spacecraft wreckage, which is just plain old terrestrial missile wreckage, of course? You can't, can you? Unless the alien spacecraft landed reasonably intact and it had stained glass windows with depicting their religious icons, just like our churches have, you could glean nothing in the way of religious belief from that. So there we go. This science fiction world of ET nonsense is falling apart at the seams. I quite enjoy watching the people jumping up and down, getting angry, the people that peddle this nonsense, because it shows they know it's falling apart at the seams. They're desperately trying to prop it up. That's why they're coming out with the sort of nonsense they're coming out with. Can you believe a professional, educated man, Ph.D, Nolan, saying Degrasse Tyson should have his Ph.D revoked because he doesn't believe this science fiction rubbish? Can you believe that? And I think I said that Nolan was at Princeton. He's actually at Stanford, I think, because I said they had this shit out of luck convention. This meeting they had, I think I said previously it was at Princeton. It's actually at Stanford, where they got these people together, the science fiction piffle peddlers and all this, and they came up with these, I don't know, it's just with these protocols of, how you would disclose the ET presence. I mean, how would they know? If a spacecraft landed on the White House lawn, if a spacecraft landed in one of these beautiful green areas we've got around here, what the hell has it got to do with them? I don't think there'd be any ambiguity there. I think if aliens are going to come all the way here from somewhere else in the galaxy, it would be on every television channel, all over the internet. They'd land somewhere and say, "Greetings, Earth people," or words to that effect. Is this the planet Trump? You'd have to hope not. But they are clutching at straws, they're getting angry, and they're making personal attacks. That is always an excellent indicator of people knowing they are losing a battle. They're losing the fight. People are leaning the other way now. More and more people. And people like Sean Kirkpatrick that write an article in Scientific American. Corbell didn't like that at all. That was why he called him dog shit, because it's a respected publication. But Sean Kirkpatrick is saying there's no credible evidence of ET coming here. That's what he's saying, because that's what he found. It was his job to find out. Arrow are cleared to see any classified material, to hear any classified testimony. And there is nothing there. There is no credible evidence that extraterrestrials are coming to this planet, or that have ever come to this planet, have ever been to this planet. And Jeremy Corbell finds that really, he's jumping up and down, he's getting really annoyed about that. And then Ross Coulthard is talking about UFOs again, And how many times have I said you need to separate UFOs from ET, from extraterrestrials? Yeah, okay, I saw that, I don't know what it is. It's flying in the sky, it's a UFO. Okay, it's real. UFOs are real. Doesn't mean they're alien spacecraft. In fact, you can guarantee they're not alien spacecraft. The likelihood of them being alien spacecraft is zero. Alien spacecraft's not going to come all the way here and then just fly past an airliner, And all these extra witnesses they've got, these 40 whistleblowing witnesses, what are they going to say? If they are witnesses with no tangible evidence, it's completely pointless listening to them. It will be a complete and utter waste of time. Which is, I think, why Sean Kirkpatrick packed it in. He doesn't want to listen to all this science fiction rubbish. He said he doesn't want to waste his time on it. He doesn't want to see his colleagues wasting their time on it. Because there's no evidence. Doesn't matter, you could line up, 400 whistleblowers, all with PhDs, military backgrounds. If all they're doing is saying, I saw this, it's a waste of time. If there is a program for recovering crashed alien spacecraft, and reverse engineering them, that's what you need to see. You know, the people that are looking into this, Burchett and Co, Luna, Mace, they need to be taken to where this is going on. If they can't take them there and show them the tangible materials, it's not happening. It's as simple as that. So as I've said in some previous videos, you know, I just hope Burchett keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, subpoena the right people, and get to the bottom of it. And when he gets to the bottom of it, he'll say, well, there's nothing here. There is zero tangible evidence to show that any of this is happening. It's all science fiction being peddled by the same people over years, if not decades. And that's what Sean Kirkpatrick said. It's the same core of people that are pushing all this rubbish. And it's getting repeated by others. And this guy, Michael Herrera, he sounds like one of the guys Linda Moulton Howe would have on her channel. You know, she has these Spartan 1, this military guy. Oh, I know he's a military guy. You know, this big pyramid under Antarctica can power the whole planet. It's all science fiction rubbish. There's no evidence for any of this. But she will broadcast this as truth because she's a fangirl. She loves all this stuff. She's got a bottle of champagne for when they announce ET's here. And one or two of the others are like that. Bassett is like that, you know. They desperately want this to be true. And I reckon that if you were doing a psychology doctorate, that would be a good research subject. Why do so many people want aliens to be visiting this planet? Personally, I think that would make me feel a bit uneasy. Because if they got a bit rowdy, if they can get here, their technology is going to be infinitely superior to ours. If they got rowdy, we have had it. And I think Travis Taylor wrote a book, you know, how we could fight back against aliens. We could fight a guerrilla war. It would be difficult for them to keep their military on this planet supplied, so we could win. And it's complete and utter nonsense. Aliens, I've said it before, aliens are not going to come here and fight us on our terms. We're never ever going to be in a shooting war with aliens. If aliens want this planet, they would just they would come here, spray something into the atmosphere that would kill everybody within a few days. The whole planet would be dead within a few days. But as far as humans go, they could probably select which species they wanted to keep and then just spray this stuff in the atmosphere. Everyone will be dead. There's not going to be a ragtag band of misfits that are going to figure out the one single point of failure in the aliens' attack plan and destroy it and save the planet. That's science fiction nonsense. If aliens wanted to take this planet, we wouldn't know anything about it. The lights would go out. That would be that. And then all they got to do is fly away, come back 2 or 3 years' time, and they wouldn't even have to deal with any nasty smells. All they would have to do is sweep the bones up and move in. If they were physiologically similar, even the structures might be useful to them. So all this fighting a guerrilla war against aliens, just like guerrilla wars are fought against the Americans in most places they go, to bring about regime change. You know, it's not going to pan out like that. It's science fiction rubbish. So personally, I would feel a little bit uneasy if an alien spacecraft turned up. I would wonder what their real motivations were. They're certainly not going to learn anything from us. They're certainly not going to be able to get anything from this planet that they couldn't get much closer to home in the way of materials. So why would they be here? If they flew around the planet now and they looked at all the wars going on all over the world, they're going to say this lot are a bunch of monkeys. They're not worth interacting with. We're not going to invite this mob into the Galactic Federation, if such a thing existed. They just wouldn't do it. If they came here, you know, they would know that they're going to be quizzed on how they got here, where they come from, what sort of propulsion they used. They're not going to give us that sort of information. They are not going to give us technology donations. As has been put forward by some of these bloody idiots, you know. Oh, it's not a crash. They don't crash, you know. They're donated. Because even the dumbest of bloody dimwits is beginning to realise the technology would be such that they're not going to come here and crash. So suddenly now they're donations. They're not going to donate any technological or biological equipment to us to help us get to them and potentially wipe them out, potentially destroy them. You know, they're going to say, look at this, they're fighting each other all over the place. If we give them technology to come and see us, they're going to be fighting us in no time. You know, we're not interested in that. This lot are just a bunch of bloody monkeys. We'll check them out in 200 years, 300 years, and see if they've sorted themselves out. And even then, if we weren't capable of interstellar travel, they're not going to help us achieve it. You know, it's going to be like Star Trek. Roddenberry made a lot of sense. You know, you're not going to. The worst thing you could possibly do is interfere with a developing species. You know, if they develop all this technology themselves and they become capable of flying around the galaxy, okay, then you need to introduce yourself with them, to them, and you need to tell them what the galactic rules are. Until that point, it doesn't matter. You know, the best you can do is put guys on the moon. You know, send probes out into the solar system, put guys into low Earth orbit. If that's the best you can do, it's going to be a very long time, if ever, that you're going to be in a position to go and bother aliens in other star systems. And as I've said before, you know, I think the announcement that we are not alone in the universe will be made because SETI or the JWST or any of its successors have detected ET out in the galaxy. It's not going to be because they're coming here, and it's certainly not going to be because we're going to be able to go to them. All right, well, I think that's it. I just felt compelled to make a video. Obviously, you know, it's this is something I do, say, for fun. Or if I see something I feel compelled to make a video about it. I don't feel compelled to put out a video every lunchtime of every day of the week. You know, then it doesn't take long to run out of material then, does it? And then people are saying, well, what would you like me to make a video about? I just make a video if I think I've got something to say. And, you know, I've got a job. I don't need any money from YouTube. The amount of money I get from my videos, I don't need to build up a big subscriber base and get, you know, $1,000 a month from YouTube. You know, I just don't need that. I just do this because I think it needs to be said. And if it only gets 100 people looking at it, so be it. At least that's 100 people that have seen it. And when they're in the pub talking about it, they'll say, oh yeah, but have you considered this? You know, give people something to think about from the critical thinking point of view, from the realistic point of view. Hopefully, anyway. All right, well, I think that will do. So I've got quite a busy day ahead of me, so I'm going to go and get a few bits and pieces and go and get on with it. As always, if you've struggled through the video all the way to this point, thank you very much indeed for watching, and maybe I'll catch you again.